I would like to share with you a little bit of my testimony before I became Christian. I grew up in a toxic family full of traumas. I carry a lot of traumas toward my childhood, then teenager years. When I kind of became teenager, I didn't want to know anything about God, so I was against it. Why I had to go to church, and coming back home was all sadness, back again and again every day. At some point, I really I hated my life. I think I'm telling you right now, I wasn't a happy child, and I never maybe shared this with my family. I'm sharing it to the world. I wasn't a happy child. That's why the emptiness inside of me grew bigger and bigger. And that led me to wanting to know the real God, if there is actually a God, where He is. So that was a long journey that took me until the moment I accepted the Lord Jesus Christ. And my life was like a roller coaster because I failed in so many ways, many choices I made in my life, wrong choices. Nothing was successful in my life. I was just miserable. Didn't want to live anymore. It came a day that I said, well, God, if my life is to be like this, I don't want to live anymore. So reveal yourself to me if you actually there, because I don't want this life anymore. I faced heartbrokens, apart from childhood traumas, heartbrokens. My relationships never worked out before I accepted the Lord Jesus Christ. So I just needed guidance. I needed love. I was searching for true love. A love that I never felt it, and I always felt like I was never loved. I was never accepted. And as a child, that really impacts our adult life. That's why I end up not making the right choices. Not blaming the other people but me, because I did not know what was the best for me until I actually realized that God knows what's the best for me, and I let Him lead from that moment on. Now I have a happy marriage life. But it took me a long time. I got married at the age of 37. My husband, 47. So if you are single out there listening to me, please never lose your hope. But I'm telling you, you've got to pray. It took me a lot of prayers. A lot of prayers that led me to my husband. And because I decided not to choose for myself anymore, but let God bring that man to my life. And I'm so grateful for our living God, that He actually answers prayers. So, through also my life, I suffer with a miscarriage. So my first child, I lost it. So I know what's the pain of not having your first child in your arms. So there was a lot of pain that I'd carry until the point I found Christ, and I just wanted everything to come out of me. I was like a broken vase, and took time, and it's still is a process. Everything in life is a process. But at the point that I accepted the Christ, He had so much to do on me, because I was completely broken. I was a wreck. I was a piece of garbage, I could say. Was nothing left for me. I didn't see hope in me. And He took a loving and merciful God to change and build me up again in a beautiful way, because that's what God does. He created us to live His plans for our lives, and that's His choice, not our choice. And I realized that years late, after I felt like I wasted so long in my life making my own choices. But now, my choices, I'd never decide anything without going to prayer. God, decide for me what's best for me, give me the wisdom, bring the answer to me, bring the person to me. Like when I was waiting for a husband, That was I was doing, waiting for God send that person to me. I stopped chasing men to fill up the emptiness that was in my heart, because no man would fill that up until you realize that only God can bring that fulfillment. And when He does, He says that if you put God first in your life, in the center of your life, He will bring to you everything you need. And that was my testimony. Once I gave my life to Christ, learning how to put God first in my life, then He starts sending what I needed. Send me a son, He sent me a husband, He sending me peace. And day by day is a process. He helped me to overcome anxiety, sending me ideas, tools, wisdom to overcome. I know your pain, I know you're going through. I've been so much in pain. I felt like I was not worthy of love. But until everything can change in the moment that we accept the Lord Jesus Christ in our life. This is my testimony. And there's so much more I can say, I can talk about all day long. But I just wanted to know that I just want to speak the love of God, because I lived with so much pain, so much... there was no words that could describe what I've been through, and I could not talk to anybody about it because I knew nobody could understand me. And I've got a fly here on me. Yeah, that's my testimony. So stay tuned for more, and subscribe, like, share, and I hope you see me again.